Hey, what's going on? We are here with WWE 2K22. We are checking out the brand new My Faction mode, which is very similar to NBA 2K22 My Team. So, big shout out to 2K for providing me an early access copy of the game in order to be able to check out this mode and go over all the features that are part of My Faction. So, as soon as you jump into the mode, you're given an option to choose a starter pack. You got a choice of the WWE Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. I went with SmackDown. I wanted to choose the cover athlete Rey Mysterio, who will be the superstar of our team, along with Bailey. Our manager will be Paul Heyman, and I will explain how this all works when we create our faction. So let's jump into this. I'm excited. This mode has so much potential, and it's going to be a lot of fun being able to use so many different wrestlers in your faction. So let's get right into it. We see the animation cutting on. That means it's time to open up some packs. That's the most exciting part for sure. But as soon as you load up, you will see that there are different designs around the cards. Usually the ones that have the fire around it or have a different type of shake are your higher rarity cards. They start off with bronze, you got silver, we got a gold Kevin Owens as well, which is pretty sweet. When you choose the starter packs, you're guaranteed to get the Rey Mysterio, so that was the first card that was shaken. They have side plates, payback, and badges. The badges are what make the finders more unique than the others. The badges start off at silver, bronze, but they do work their way up. The higher the rarity of the badge, the more unique the attribute is to the player. In this second pack, we also have the same type of setup. We're going to get another gold card, which is Sasha Banks, and we're going to get Bailey, since this was the player that we selected for the starter pack as well. Now, I want to point out that Rey Mysterio and Bailey are evolution cards, so they have their own set of challenges that will help you upgrade them from a gold to an emerald. So that's something very important to do in the early game, because you do want to have some emerald cards on your team, especially if you didn't pre-order the Undertaker bundle or the NWO bundle, which come with emerald cards already. So it's something that you want to take advantage of and grind. This pack here has cosmetics, which is the silver closer. It also has contracts. Now, contracts are super important because every time you use a wrestler in a match, they do consume a contract. So you want to be able to compile as many as you can to keep those fighters in the rotation as often as possible. You can collect contracts from completing different objectives in the game, challenges, or by completing the game modes and in-game chapters as well. So now we're creating our faction. Once you figure out your name, you're going to plug in the players that you want to use in your 4v4 modes and the wrestlers that you're going to be able to select when you go into your one-on-one matches. At this point, I didn't have a lot of selection to choose from, so it was pretty easy for me to fill in who I was going to use. Rey Mysterio, Kevin Owens on the top, and we took the high rarities that were remaining, and then Bailey and Sasha Banks. Now, when you create your faction, you also got the choice to choose a logo, a nameplate, and a wallpaper as well. Now, something that I want to point out is that you can add side plates on your players. The side plates gives your wrestlers a boost for a certain amount of matches, while payback is a different strategy that you can assign to each wrestler as well. They have different purposes. Some will help you get out of a pin count faster. For the NWO characters, I noticed that they had paybacks that allow you to use brass knuckles in the match. As long as you don't get caught, you won't get disqualified. And there's other unique settings that you can apply to your fighter as well. You can only equip one at a time, so that's where the strategy comes into play. Now, each wrestler also has a fighting style, which is very important when selecting your manager, because you want to pick a manager that will complement those fighting styles and be compatible. Now, in the beginning, you don't have a lot of choices, but I did find that Paul Heyman was pretty good when pairing him up with the NWO and Undertaker, and actually, in some cases, was a better fit than the Ruby Eric Bischoff that you get from the pre-order. So I thought that was pretty interesting, just to show that sometimes the rarities don't necessarily mean it's a better manager, so you can really figure out who's more compatible. Now, in order to get more rewards on your squad, make sure you log in every day. There are prizes that you can earn. And if you did pre-order the bundle that included Undertaker NWO, then they will show up in your unopened pack section, which I will show you very soon. Now, periodically, there are locker codes that are given out by 2K on the WWE 2K Twitter account. So be sure to turn on those notifications. The codes usually provide you an opportunity to get an additional wrestler in your squad just by keying in a redeem code where it says locker codes. It's a great opportunity for you to get free players. Now, if you look on the screen, we have Proven Grounds, which is kind of like your story mode, right? There's chapters with different objectives, a certain amount of matches you have to complete in order to get a reward. You have your Faction Wars, which takes your 4-on-4 superstar team that you selected to go up against another set of wrestlers. It's a great way to get multiple points for each fighter that you're using. And then a weekly tile is another great opportunity to complete challenges for more rewards. Now, in my collection, you're able to see all the wrestlers that are available inside the game right now across all rarities, packs that are available in the store, and token rewards, which is pretty cool because you earn tokens from completing objectives in the game as well. And you can redeem those tokens for different wrestlers to add to your team, which generally are higher rarities, right? They start at Emerald. And once you unlock 15 Emeralds, you're able to start getting Sapphire wrestlers. So it's another good way to add stronger wrestlers to your team to complement the ones you already have. So the game has a lot of replay content when it comes to grinding. So the token rewards is something you definitely want to try to target, along with the evolution cards, like I explained earlier. If you look at the right hand side, you will see that Rey Mysterio stats as a gold card have a certain number, and if you do evolve them to an emerald, then you will see that there are stat increases as well, along with badges that upgrade. What you can see on the screen, Born to Fly upgrades with the Emerald Evolution. And if you go into the collections, you can see every single card that's inside the game. I thought this was actually a pretty cool feature because it can show you who you want to target. It shows you the wrestlers that are in the Superstar Series. You have your premium, which are from the packs, your rewards, which are generally from token or from playing the events or the chapters inside of the modes. Then you have your managers, along with customization options. So definitely take a look at that before starting, just to get an idea of how you want to build out your team. And for those of you that like to collect cards, there is a collector level based on the number of cards that you collect inside the game. There are different rewards, and that includes packs as well, along with some really exclusive cards to add to your roster. So something definitely to check out while you're grinding the different modes inside of MyFaction. Now, you can see there's Amethyst in there, and at the end, there is a Triple H as a level 20 reward. Pretty iconic for sure. Now, we're going to the store. Since we've been talking about packs, right now is the Primetime Series Deluxe pack. And if you did pre-orders, those unopened packs will be in the store as well. It will show up under the unopened packs section. Now, if you look at the token market, again, you should be paying a lot of attention to this when you start in the game. You need to unlock 15 of these Emerald cards in order to unlock the Sapphires rewards inside of the token market. So now we're going to open up our Undertaker Immortal pack along with our NWO for Life pack. So here goes our first pull. It's the Undertaker WrestleMania 36. It's a gold rarity. Now, from my experience with my team, there will be challenges that will be just for gold players and Emerald. So that's why every card is important for your franchise. We got the Undertaker 95, throwback OG Undertaker for sure. And then now we got our Emerald Undertaker 98. Definitely a legend. And you can see already has a higher badge on the card. This here includes contracts, which is important, along with a wallpaper. Now we're going into our NWO for Life pack. And this pack was definitely nice, I gotta admit. Definitely has some good cards. That Ruby, Eric Bischoff. For manager card, we got an Emerald 6, which gives you a good variety of different type of fighters on your squad, right? You got Kevin Nash as well. There you go, Scott Hall, NWO, right? Razor Ramon. And then we got Hollywood Hogan. So definitely got some good choices for your superstar, right? You could go either Hulk Hogan or you could go Undertaker. And then we got our logo, nameplate, and wallpaper for NWO, which you can use when creating your faction. So we added in our new superstars. This is the payback section I was explaining. So you can choose one of these paybacks. They're all very different. I didn't want to take a chance of getting disqualified, so I didn't do low blow, poison miss, power of the punch. So we went with resilience, which allows me to escape a pin or a submission a lot easier. But if you want to take a chance, you got a lot of options that will give you a huge advantage in the match. You see Kevin Nash, I left power of the punch because I said, why not? I might give it a shot just to see how it is inside of the gameplay. And you can look at the fighter styles. They're all very different. So that's why it's very important to pay attention to the type of manners you equip. For the side plates, we're going to add +6 for finisher for 5 matches, right? They all have their own unique boost to the wrestler, but they're also limited over a certain amount of matches as well. So, keep that in mind. Try to not use them as frequently as you want in the event that you're not able to obtain another version of that boost as well. Now here's Eric Bischoff. I didn't like the compatibility he had with the team, which is weird, right? Because I would have thought him being part of the NWO for Life pack, he would have had great compatibility with them. But Paul Heyman, which was a bronze card, actually did. So I was happy that I selected him. So if maybe that can help you decide what starter pack to go with. If you did a pre-order, then go ahead for that as well. Now, as far as the game modes, you got Proven Grounds, Faction Wars, and Weekly Towers. We're going to jump into Proven Grounds so you can get a first glimpse of how it looks. So you got Chapter 1, Rise Up. Upon completing this chapter, you will earn rewards. So that's another great way to add fighters to your faction. The first chapter is NXT Has Arrived. So you go into it, you got to complete 7 matches in order to get those rewards. Each match has 3 different options for difficulty. You got normal, you got hard, and you got legend. Now, legend is tough because the thing with faction, and this is just like how it is in my team, when you start off, it is okay to go with normal because you don't have really good cards on your faction. Right? I know that you start off with these Emerald NWO cards and Undertaker, but trust me, it's still going to be a little bit difficult on normal, and on hard is going to be crazy. So if you try legend, good luck to you for sure. Because these cards don't have the badges equipped to them that will allow them to make the match easier for you. So that's something to bear in mind. Now, I don't have a lot of experience with wrestling games. I seldomly play them here and there. I'm a big My Career guy. But because I play my team, faction mode definitely called my attention. But the game does a really good job of giving you tutorial inside of your first match inside of the faction. And the on-screen prompts make it really easy for you to figure out what you need to press. So I did enjoy that. It made it a lot easier for me being kind of new to the franchise. But if you're an experienced OG with the franchise, then you're going to be okay. The transition is going to be pretty seamless. And you might be able to go on to the higher difficulty and find it to be a little bit easier for you. But the gameplay I thought was super smooth. The mechanics made sense. The player movement, everything was flowing the way I thought it should. And as far as the degree of difficulty, I was pretty content with it. I've played games before where I thought it was a little bit too easy. So this will definitely make the grind a lot more enjoyable. Now, things I want to point out to you. If you look at the right-hand side, that shows you how much points you earn for the match. There's also a star meter on the top left-hand side. And if you look when you are fighting, there will be badges that pop up on the screen. So that is how you know what a specific badge does when it activates. So it's super helpful to give you an idea how they function inside of the matches as well. So that's a cool feature. There's also in-game trackers that will show you how you progress towards a specific challenge inside the mode. So that's a lot of fun. Makes it very easy for you to grind and understand what you're working towards. So I thought the UI, the system prompts, everything was pretty awesome, in my opinion. And once you start getting the hang of the mode, it's a lot of fun because you're going to be using different wrestlers at different stages of their career. Right now we're using a much older version of the Undertaker, which was the young, fresh, super powerhouse that we grew to love. And you can look, there was a objective that I just completed. So you earn the MP points for that right away. And a ton of badges are just flashing on the screen because I'm just doing whatever move I can think of. Now you can also see my finishers coming up. We're going to get them with a tombstone. I'm going to drop them as hard as I can. And we're going to go right into the pin. Now I could have activated his signature pin right away if I followed the prompt. So that's something to pay attention to as well. And without a surprise, he kicked out. So we got to keep fighting. And eventually we do finish this match and we do win. So I'm going to fast forward it to the end of the match. Just so you can see how it is once you complete it. So in the end, it'll tell you how you earn your points, what badges were used. And it gives you a good breakdown of the match summary, what you have to complete next, what match objectives were you able to finish, what challenges are you working towards with each game that you play. So you can see there's a lot of challenges that are available for sure. So let me know in the comments what starter team you're going to choose for faction mode. What are your thoughts so far? What questions do you have? Are you excited? Are you going to pre-order the game? Which bundle are you going to pre-order? And what superstar are you going to put in your squad? Like, who are you going to be aiming to have? You saw the choices right in the beginning from the starter packs, what Undertakers you get from the Immortals pack, and what wrestlers you get from the NWO for Life pack. Appreciate all the support. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope that you're able to enjoy the WWE 2K22 faction mode. So I'll catch everyone in the next one. Peace out.